All right, we're here at June Lake today. We're gonna go up for a few miles, maybe even a little bit beyond June Lake. I was saying Ape Caves for some reason. I have no idea why, but it's down the street from here. Yeah, it's 37 degrees out. I'll put the like I did in the last video. I'll start putting elevation and distance up there. Yeah, so we'll go up and go for a little adventure today. So this trail is kind of in that category for me of the nostalgia hikes. A few stories about this trail. I think it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like 2011. Mount St. Helens did a couple of these big steam plumes during the summer. And the first one that happened, I was up here with some family, and we just happened to look over at the mountain. There was no noise or anything, but we looked over at the mountain, and there was a giant, like, it looked like it was erupting. It was like thousands of feet high. It's like, uh-oh. So yeah, that got the, we just put our wheels on and scurried back down the mountain, back to the car. So I think that's Kalama Creek, or no, Swift Creek. Or at least it was, that's what they have marked at the road. That'd be some cold water today. Yeah, so we, turns out it was just it's an active volcano, and nothing ever came of it that I'm aware of. But that was an exciting day. Fun family hikes. So I have my my hat on today. So let's see if I can show this hat. I don't know if I'm getting myself in video or not. But this hat, I made it myself. It's a single stitch crochet. What I like about it, well, mainly what I dislike about store-bought hats is the store-bought hats all at the top have like some sort of there's like a cross shape where they sewed it all together at the end, and so there's like this cross up there that always frail. It all comes out and you end up having a hole right at the top of your head. And people with no hair, they need that insulation. So it's a single piece of string that goes through from the start, which is up here, all the way through. So unless it gets snagged or cut or something, burned, it's not gonna unravel or come unthreaded. So far I really like it. I'm gonna make a few more, probably. This one took forever. Those of you who crochet know that a single stitch is like it's the most dense. You don't skip any spaces. So it's nice for like a thermal, just a thermal hat. It's warm. I think it looks nice. All right, this one's for you mushroomers out there. That's what the top looks like. And here's the bottom. The gills and the stem and all that. Tell me if that's edible. Never seen that in the store. So we'll see. Let's see. All right, so here's some more mushrooms. So we got this little guy here. Tell me if there's a gills stem. There's another one over here. But then right over here, some different types. I can't quite see underneath there. Yeah, I'm not a mushroomer, so I don't know if that's a edible type or not. It's cool. So just like in the last video, here's another, more of that cable, the cable that just stretches on. This is more typical of it, to just be kind of half in the ground. But it'll go, I followed some of these, not this specific one, but you can follow it through the woods sometimes. And it just goes, yeah, this one's more buried than most of them. But kind of cool to see that old logging stuff left behind. On the rare occurrence, there isn't any clouds in the sky here. This is where you would look up and you'd see a full panorama of Mount St. Helens. Right there, you'd see she's basically right there. Maybe even bigger. She might be like up there. Maybe on the way down she'll be out. We'll see. We gotta drop off down to the river here. I don't know how much this is undercut, so I'm not gonna go any closer to the edge. Yeah, when the river comes around a bend like that, or creeks, they wash around at the edge of cliffs. And sometimes they stick out that it would be a cornice if it was snow, but it's just this precarious piece of dirt hanging out. And it could be a couple feet thick, it could be 10 feet thick, I don't know, because it's under the edge. But it reminded me of a story of actually up on Mount St. Helens. I summited with some friends, and we were hanging out at the summit, having some lunch. And it was a kind of a windy day up there, so we were finding some shelter. Like, you'd hop over because it's like a bowl shape, right? So you hop over the lip, but you hop down onto snow. But that snow is basically, it's just a big, it's a cornice, I think is the correct term for it. But that cornice, I don't know how thick it is, but it's tens of thousands of pounds. So I figured it's safe to kind of be on the sandy side or like the summity side, not out towards the edge. But there's a nice little shelter from the wind right there. And we were sitting there having our sandwiches or whatever we were having. And some guy not in our party, had no idea who the guy was, but he summits, he jumps up on the edge, kind of celebrates, and then proceeds to run out onto that ice shelf and run right out to the edge. Like his toes were within a foot of the edge of basically falling straight down into the center. I don't know how many 1,000-foot drop off that is, or maybe it's 1,000 foot even. I don't know. It's a huge drop off down into the crater. Oh, that's cool. Look down into the water there. But this guy, he ran out on the edge thinking like, oh, it's solid enough. And apparently it was, because he didn't fall. But he didn't know that. Freaked me out a bit. Could've, yeah, who knows? Worst case scenario could have happened that day. But, yeah. Yeah, so be leery around edges that you can't see what's underneath them. It's one thing if it's solid rock, you're probably okay. But like gravel or snow or like ice, obviously, potentially bad. Nice little creeks here. That is a raven. They're quite a bit bigger than a crow. And they have that more human-like, kind of a lower sounding call. That was actually a kind of a high pitch for a typical raven. It's a cool little spot. I remember the waterfall being in a different location. But there she is. It's been a while since I've been here. There she is. Those are so elusive. Now I have some more sympathy for all those people. See something really cool on camera and don't get it in time. It's really hard. I was here years ago with my dog, which has since passed. He passed last year. But he was a really good hiking dog. I think that was the last time I was at this specific spot. So this is kind of common on this mountain where you just have these huge boulder fields. I don't know if it was here before the mountain blew up or after. And obviously it's after, but it was a result of the mountain blowing up or not. But I have a picture. I'll see if I can find it and post it on this video, but this is this same log. I have a picture of me and my dog here years ago. I'll take a picture of this real quick. So the original plan today was to go through that rock field behind that big tree and follow the Pika Trail. The Pika Trail starts off straight through like that lava field, boulders. And they kind of tumble as you walk on them, so it's just not I'm not feeling up to it today. Maybe later. It's a little bit dangerous, a little bit cold to be out doing that. Kind of slippery today. Maybe in the summertime it'd be better, less wet. Yeah. That's a cool tree. I don't know if I got that one in the heading back down, heading back towards the car now. Yeah, I took a bunch of footage around that lake. I don't know if any of it's going to be usable or not. Hopefully I put some of that in there. But whatever I put in there, I shot probably 5 times more than what I put in the video. Fiddled around with my chair, but the audio was so bad that you can't hear what I'm saying. And then I did like a little pop can stove demo, but yeah, I don't know how much that's going to be useful, or even this for that matter. Yeah, so I'm heading back down. I might drive up to Climbers Bivouac and see if, maybe not. We'll see. I'll make my mind up when I get back to the car.